What up? Big Herc916. Positivity, motivation. Never settle for average, because you know ain't nothing average over here. Pick you up some merch at BigHerc916.com. You know, I was just catching up on all the news over the weekend and saw that they had a school shooting in Houston, and the young man who shot, they said, I think 3 individuals, was 18. He's out on bail. There was a fight prior to the shooting, and you know, the teacher got shot in the back, 15-year-old got shot, and somebody else got shot, and I'm not sure if they're the 4th person that got shot, but he fled, called an attorney, turned himself in, out on bail, and yeah, man. Parents gave him a little welcome home party. You know, I don't get it, man. I don't get it, because I've been there, and I'm trying to figure out, like, how to reach these young people, or what's going on with the parenting. What are you doing bringing a gun to school, man? And if you can't fight, keep your mouth shut. Don't talk shit. Plain and simple, man. And you know, I guess I might sound like I'm an old school, or you know, out of the loop, because when you're young, you know, it's all about, you know, fighting and being tough and whatever you might have you. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I know people used to tell me stuff when I was young, and I didn't pay no attention to it either. You know, I used to kind of mad dog them, look at them crazy, like, man, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'd wonder why they would give me these looks, man. These older people that tried to educate me, man, and you know, look out for me. I wonder why they used to look at me crazy. And now I know why, because I had so much potential, but yet I was doing dumb shit, man. Dumb shit. You know, I had been programmed, you know, to act a fool. And I wasn't a dummy, man. I was a straight A student, but I was still getting into shit. I recall getting jumped in summer school. I was supposed to be going to summer school to take driver's ed, you know, and catch up on some other classes so I could be ahead of my class when it came time to graduate. But what did I do, man? I'm in summer school, gang banging, you know, acting a fool, and ended up getting into it with some cats from another high school, because you know, it was 3 high schools at the same summer school, and it was a powder keg, man. I mean, it was just a matter of time before shit kicked off, because my high school didn't get along with that other high school, and putting them all together, man, I don't know what the administration was thinking, because these schools never got along, and it ended up going down. And I got jumped by, I ain't gonna lie, about probably 7 dudes, you know, 6, 7 dudes, maybe 8 guys, kicked, you know, stomped, you know, hit upside the head. Luckily, my homeboys came to my rescue, and we were fighting and going at it. It was on the news. Nobody got shot, though. It was straight fighting, you know, because back then, that was the thing, man. It was fighting, you know, showing how tough you were, known to throw hands. Shooting was like the next level, man. When you started wanting to shoot somebody, man, because you couldn't fight, I mean, that's when it became like it kind of just changed the whole scope of everything. It was just basically, at that point, it wasn't even a respect thing. It was just a death and destruction type thing. And man, the next day, walking to summer school, me and 3 of my friends were walking home, and some guys rolled up on us, and I want to say a Hyundai, man, 4-door Hyundai, and somebody was sitting in the back seat, and they pointed that barrel out the window, man, and asked us where we were from. And all three of us looked at each other, and he repeated himself. He's like, man, where y'all from? And I'm not going to get into details as far as, like, you know, what was said exactly, because I don't like to endorse any of that bullshit. But he pointed that barrel, bro, and you know, we could all been dead, man. And then, you know, it would have been a wrap. But we didn't say nothing. We kind of just looked at him, and he drove off. After that day, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get me a pistol, man. That was my next thought. I said, I'm not gonna be caught slipping like that. I'm gonna have me a strap. And I'm 15, man. I went from playing football, basketball, skateboarding, to wanting to carry a pistol. So I'm not blaming the kids out there. I'm just saying, man, I'm just trying to find how we can better rationalize these situations and, you know, stop the violence, man. Stop the stupidity. Because I'm telling you, I'm very fortunate that I didn't get caught up in a situation that could have been way more detrimental. And that's not the only time I had a gun pulled on me, man. You know, I've had guns pulled on me multiple times. I've been shot at, man. I you know, another instance, got into it with some cats at a movie theater. It was just straight melee, man. And a dude stole on me, took off running. I chased him down, and he pulled the strap on me, man. And by the grace of God, he missed, and he was probably only like 15, 20 feet away. And I hit the ground. I don't know how I hit the ground so fast, but, you know, people behind me caught wind of, you know, of the flurry of bullets. But I don't like to glorize that stuff, man, because it didn't make me no superhero. It didn't make me anything that I should be bragging about. But at the time, I'm like, oh man, you know, I'm on some gangster shit. Man, what I needed during that time, I think, to really set me straight was, I don't know, man, I needed a strong male figure in my life, and I needed some I needed a change of environment, because I couldn't see anything as far as outside of what my immediate surroundings consisted of. And you don't have no guns in prison, except for the guards. And, you know, if you like to run your mouth, you're gonna have to learn how to fight, because you're gonna be doing a lot of fighting. And the fighting in there, man, you better get you a little, you know, you're gonna have to get you a little blinky. Get you a shank, because it ain't gonna be no straight up head up. Most likely, if you're fighting somebody up in there and they ain't got nothing to lose, they're gonna try to stab you. Ain't no fist fights, man. You're gonna have to use a knife. Because if I wasn't, you know, privy of anybody who want to get a head up fade, man. They're like, dude, unless it's like something internally and the homie's like, okay, you guys go head up. But other than that, dude, if it's some beef with somebody else and it kicks off, you're gonna have to get a knife. Close combat. I mean, how much is it worth it? Do you want to, because you know you couldn't handle a fade? Do you want to go and do, you know, 5 years? Do you want to do 10? What if you accidentally kill somebody? A friend of mine's son was banging, talking shit at a mall, got beat up in the mall parking lot. Seen the kid, went to the car, seen the kid, shot the kid 5 or 6 times, killed him. Dude, he's doing 50 years. 50 years, man, because he couldn't fight and he was a gang member and he wanted to talk shit. Is it worth it? You tell me, man. Is it worth it? I don't know anybody sitting in prison with 50 years, 20 years, and they're happy, man. They're depressed. They're trying to cope with the environment. A lot of them are strung out on drugs to try to handle the stress. It's just, and growing up in penitentiary, growing up in jail, man, I mean, that's not no place to grow up, man. That's not no place to try to mature at. I don't know, man. It's not spoken about often enough, so I feel like I need to speak on some of it, man, because I don't want to see young men going out like this, man. You know, I'm not trying to say that you're soft or you're weak, but I mean, you know, if murder is just that easy, and like I said, I used to ride around with, you know, with the hammer, and I was, you know, I was on the other side, so I can tell you, man, and I'm glad that I saw the light, because, man, I seen some dudes up in there with some major time, man, and these dudes will cry at night. I've had guys come in the cell and cry, man, and wish they could go home. Kids don't talk to them. Girl done left them. Somebody else is beating up those cheeks. You know, one of the parents done died, or, you know, grandma, you know, whoever raised them ain't around no more. They don't have nobody. And they're miserable, man, and then they're caught up in the gang life, so they got to bang up in there, man, and it's just a miserable life, man. It's a miserable life. So I'm just trying to, you know, holler at you guys so you don't throw it away, man, because I was like, man, I was ready to throw mine away. You know, and I talk from experience. I've been to juvenile hall, I've been to California Youth Authority, and I've been to the federal pen. I've seen some gang banging at a level, man. Some dudes up in there at Preston and some of these spots, man. They do on site. They jumping over the chow line, man. They jumping over the counter on dudes in the kitchen, getting down on site, running across the yard on dudes, fighting. Ain't no, it fighting, man. You know, I don't know. This was back in the early 90s, so, you know, things I'm quite sure have changed a lot since then. But it's, you know, it's still, man, jail, man. It's oppression. It's putting yourself in a horrible environment. And I'm just saying, man, we need to, you know, men out there, man, fathering these young gentlemen, you guys got to step your game up, man. You got to step your parenting game up. You got to pay more attention, man. Give your kid a hobby outside of just, you know, GTA and gang banging and all the, man, give them something to do, man. God damn it, send these kids to camp. You know, I you know, if I would have probably stuck with skateboarding, I would have never have gotten no trouble, man. Or BMXing or some of this other stuff, but I got caught up too. So I wasn't immune. I just came out the other side. And a lot of you guys can do the same, man. It's just like, dude, find something else to do. You know, like I said, I'm not judging you, because when I was 15, 16, I was ready to get down. And it didn't matter, you know what I mean? I got down with a lot of dudes older than me, grown men. Just got into a lot of shit, man. And I remember coming home, man, and half the time, you know, shit went down, and, you know, my mom wouldn't know, my grandparents wouldn't know. I'd just go up in the house and play it off, man. And then at school, it'd be like, oh, you know, it would build your rep. Oh, so-and-so, man, he was over at Scandia, you know, tearing up shit. Oh man, at the movie theaters, he was doing this, or blah, blah, blah. You know, you felt like, oh man, you know, you became this dude, this reputable, what you thought guy, man. But reputable in what? On your way to the penitentiary? And then you get up in there, you got some dudes who are straight. You know, it ain't no joke, man. Life is nothing. Life is nothing, man. Man, so, you know, school shooting, I mean, you know, I mean, that's just one of many incidents. I mean, there's shootings every day in the neighborhood, in the hood. Kids are getting guns like they can go buy M&Ms. I mean, it's not that hard. all I'm saying is that the parents, you guys gotta talk to your kids, man, and you kids, man, find some hobbies, man, find some interests that you can do so that you can just avoid that shit, man. There's certain people, man, just look, they're bad news. Not everybody's gonna change. Some people are just bound for the penitentiary, and some people, they could actually change that path, but it takes a lot more to turn the direction in which they're going. Others, it just takes a little bit, and they're like, man, I'm good. Some people got to go back 4 or 5 times. The reason I put out these videos is to share, and I talk from experience. I'm not no angel. I'm not no perfect person. I did a lot of stuff, man, and that's why I try to put out good energy now so that people can hopefully learn from my experiences, man. But sad situation, man. A fight in class where you're going to learn, get educated, turns into a shooting. Man, this country, man, it's us as OGs, man. We gotta take more responsibility and put our voices in the community more, man, so that we can make changes. And these stories, man, it might not resonate with everybody, but there's a couple kids out there, young people, who will hear this and be like, man, I'm good. Maybe it's not worth it for me to just shoot somebody because I got into a little dispute, or I got angry. Maybe it's not worth it, and you'll think twice, man, rather than have to deal with the courts and attorney costs and plea bargains and all that stuff, because then it becomes a whole nother animal. Oh man. Try to help you guys out, man. Give you a little insight, because once you get into those penitentiary walls, your parents can't help you, man. Big Herc916. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.
Hello, I'm Big Herc916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking.